committee members are also asked to have their video switched on throughout the meeting unless I request that they turn off the video for quality control of the sound when you are speaking. You'll be expected to restart your video once you have finished speaking. Please also refrain from using the chat facility as the messages sent are also visible on the webcast. To aid today's meeting, can you conduct all business through me as chair, please? And I'm just going to go to legal officer to confirm who's in our meeting today. Jock and Bow, thank you.
Diolch, Chair. Baradar, good morning. In the chamber, we have Councillor Elson, Councillor James, Councillor Delyth-Jones, Councillor Mendes, Councillor Wynne-Mullen-James, Councillor Arwell-Roberts, Councillor Young, Councillor Elved-Williams, and not on committee, we have Councillor Hugh Williams. On Zoom, we have Councillor Chard, Councillor Edwards, Councillor Ellis, Councillor Justine Evans, Councillor John Harland, Councillor Julie Matthews, Councillor Gareth Sanderlands, Councillor Andrea Tomlin, and Councillor Cheryl Williams. Diolch.
Okay, thank you, Jock and Bow. And I will now go to apologies, please.
Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Mervyn Parry.
Okay, thank you, Jock and Bow. And item 2, I will bring in the legal officer to go through declaring any interest from members today at today's meeting.
Diolch, Chair. Members will be aware of the requirement under the Council's Code of Conduct to declare any personal or prejudicial interests in respect of any business to be considered at today's meeting. Such interests should be declared now or as soon as the member affected becomes aware that they have a personal or prejudicial interest in today's business. All members declaring an interest are required to state clearly what the interest is and to advise whether it is a personal interest or a personal or prejudicial interest as defined in the Code of Conduct. Any member declaring a prejudicial interest is required to leave the meeting for the duration of the business and can take no part in the proceedings. Members with a personal interest only may take part in the debate and any vote. If a personal or personal and prejudicial interest is declared today that has not previously been disclosed and recorded, the member concerned will be required to complete and sign a declaration of interest form, which is either available from the committee support staff in attendance here today or online. Diolch.
Okay, and just for the record, Councillor Hildred Roberts has just entered the chamber. Okay, would anyone like to declare an interest, please? Okay. Okay, no one to declare an interest. I will move on now to urgent matters as the chair, and I have none. And then I will move on to the minutes of the last meeting, pages 7 to 18. I'll go through them at page for accuracy, and then I'll go on to matters that arise if there is any. So pages 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay. We all happy then? Can someone please propose if we're happy? Okay, Councillor James Jockenbow, thank you. And seconder, Councillor Elson, please. And any matters arising from those minutes, please. Okay, I will move on then to today's applications. And I will start with item 5. Page number 19, code number 2120210903PF. The location is land adjacent to the PADDOCK LLANFERRES. The proposed change of use of land by siting of 4 number holiday accommodation units, installation of package treatment plant, formation of parking, internal track, pedestrian footbridge and associated work. The local member is Councillor Hugh Williams. Officer recommendation is to grant. We have 2 speakers, 1 for and 1 against. And if the first speaker can come up, please, hold item, please. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Dyson, when you start speaking, you get 3 minutes. We are tight on the time. Thanks for attending. Jock and Vow, over to you.
This application has been pending for approximately 2.5 years, but details of external lighting were only uploaded on the 12th of January this year. This has not allowed residents, the AO and B, the opportunity to respond with any objections or comments. None of the residents were informed by Denbighshire County Council that this application was still live and new documents regarding external lighting had been added. I therefore request a deferment to allow residents, AO and B, and other concerned parties the opportunity to respond. It is the legal duty of the LPA in their decisions to have regard for the purpose of conserving and enhancing the natural beauty of the AO and B. However, these new plans propose to develop a pathway approximately 300 yards in a field with 16 external lights and a footbridge to cross a stream, even though there is an existing path which has external lights and a footbridge and would provide a much shorter, less intrusive route. Nevertheless, for some unknown reason, there are no details of the public right-of-way or its existence documented in these new plans. I therefore suggest that any development in this area is unnecessary, and for the LPA to consider them would only diminish the preservation and natural beauty of the environment. Residents also believe this application may cause additional excessive noise and loss of visual amenity. It is important to understand the applicant already has a number of businesses operating from this site. The sawmill, large cladding company, and JD Logs all use industrial machinery, which is extremely loud and can be heard half a mile away. Maybe this was the reason why restrictions were placed on the applicant's other business, Movamai Donkeys. Not to handcuff it, but to allow residents some time to enjoy the one amenity they have in this area, the countryside. Nevertheless, the applicant contravened the restrictions, and now residents have to endure more noise, including children's parties, between 8 AM and 8 PM. If these lodges are approved, it may mean excessive noise over a 24-hour period, and the visual amenity of sheep grazing in the field would be replaced with people climbing in and out of hot tubs. Hot tubs are generally used in the nighttime and accompanied by music and alcohol, and this may lead to conflict between residents and visitors. The screening of the lodges behind trees and hedgerows would not suppress any light intrusion. Plan in section 12 of the LPA states there will be no new campsites in the Denbighshire area unless demand can clearly be shown. However, there is a variety of accommodation close by, B&Bs, holiday lodges and a campsite, none of which show as fully booked peak season. I would therefore challenge the need for any additional holiday accommodation in this area. Plan in section 5 for the rural economy should not be used as a reason to outrun plan in section 12, especially when the applicant has 4 other businesses. All the residents should have the opportunity to respond to any new plans that affect their amenity. To do otherwise creates a loophole for other applicants to do the same. I respectfully request a deferment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Okay. And can Gethin Jones, the agent, please come to speak, Jochen. Thank you. Members, need some late reps if you just want to make sure we've scanned.
Good morning, Borodar, and thank you for granting us the opportunity to present this proposal before you today. I'm Gethin Jones, representing Mr. Matthew Davis, the applicant, and I've been actively involved in leading the planning and design development of this application. The applicants are seeking approval for the development of 4 luxury holiday accommodation units within the ground adjoining the family home and established business. As a young family, the motivation is to diversify the business offerings and contribute to something truly special to our community. The vision is centred around creating a unique holiday destination within the Clydien Range and OMB area. Throughout the planning process, we've strategically positioned the units to maximise screening, ensuring minimal visual impact and utmost respect for the stunning natural surroundings of the area. Our focus has been retaining and enhancing the existing ecology, acknowledging the significance of preserving biodiversity in this beautiful area. We're pleased to report that both the county ecologist and footpath officer have raised no objection to the application, along with the Highways Department and other consultees within the LPA. During the planning application, our client has invested substantial funds working alongside Waterco Limited, who are experienced water and drainage engineers, to address queries raised by NRW regarding the planning application. We're delighted to announce that NRW have confirmed the willingness to grant a permit for the application to proceed with private treatment plant on site once development commences. Beyond the environmental considerations, we believe that our proposal will bring significant benefits to the local community. By attracting tourists seeking unique and immersive experience, we anticipate increased revenue for local businesses, including shops, public houses such as the Druids Inn and local eateries in the area. This influx of visitors will not only stimulate growth in the hospitality sector, but also contribute to the prosperity of our wider community by creating additional employment opportunities. Our overreaching goal is to emphasise the importance of maintaining and developing these beloved areas in the Denbigh area. Recognising the vital role tourism plays in the economy of Denbighshire, we believe that proposals fostering the development of the county's tourism industry should be encouraged. We are pleased to share that application received a favourable recommendation approval from the Planning Department. In conclusion, we firmly believe that our vision aligns with the values of the Denbigh area, and we sincerely hope to secure your support for the application. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much, Dr. Barrow. And members, as I say again, just while the gent's taking his seat, can you make sure you looked at the late reps? And then I will bring in members of the planning committee, and then I'll bring in the local member who's here with us today, Councillor Williams. Okay, Dr. Barrow, I'll just give you a second to make sure you've got all the information you need. Okay, members, anyone have any comments, please? Okay. Councillor Elton, please.
Thank you, Chair. Obviously, one of the main points in this is the conflict between PSE 12 and the number 5 policies. Can we have some further guidance on that from officers?
Okay, it's a good point. You can just, because it's been mentioned already by one of the speakers, can you just confirm the policies we're working within today, please, Jocko?
Thank you, Chair. Borodar Powell. Yeah, I say as the report highlights and the late reps sheet highlights, we've got two policies of main relevance to this proposal. That's PSE 5, which relates to development that benefits the rural economy, and PSE 12, which relates to sort of camping, static caravans and touring caravan sites. Now, the proposal in front of us is for lodges. It could be argued that they are within the definition of a touring caravan. They can be picked up, put on the back of the thing. They might not be. The reality is they're going to be there permanently. So we find ourselves looking at both PSE 5 and PSE 12. PSE 12 would suggest we shouldn't be supporting it. PSE 5 would suggest we should be supporting it. So the balance here has to be, which policy do you want to afford more weight to? Is it the policy that's seeking to help diversify employment and the rural economy, or is it a policy that simply says no? I think officers have taken the balanced view here that we support the economy provided there are no detrimental impacts on the character of the area or the amenity of the area. You know, reading through the report, officers have come to that conclusion that visually we can mitigate the impact of the proposal through a landscaping condition. Details of lighting, although they've been submitted late, we're actually put a condition on that requires further agreement as to that before any lighting's put up. Impact on the public rights of way, we have the response from the public rights of way officer that he's happy with the proposal. It doesn't negatively impact on it. So we've taken that view that there is scope within the LDP to support these proposals, provided there is no harm to the amenity of the area. So the report concludes that on balance, we should support this, giving more weight to PSE 5. I hope that helps. Thank you.
Councillor Jones, please.
Thank you very much. I'm going to speak in Welsh if just give you a chance to put your headphones on. But I just thank you very much for the report, a comprehensive report, and a very clear report that we've had on the late reps that do help with explaining a number of these things. I do see that there are a number of have come in with objections, and there has been responses, but we've heard from one of the speakers. So could you just give us an explanation that that process has been followed in terms of a consultation with that? I also noted on the application that some of the points in the objections refer to the nearby sites, could you explain what expectations are there for an applicant to show what the demand is for this development, especially with it being within an area of AO and B? Thank you.
Officer,
Jock, yeah, looking at the first thing, the question of the process about whether or not people have had a reasonable chance to comment on the proposals. The information that was received most recently related primarily to a lighting scheme and drainage scheme. That was in direct response to requests from statutory consultees. In officer's opinion, we've consulted with the relevant people on that. From the point of view of the neighbours, their comments are made to you there. That it wouldn't make this additional information would not take away the residents' objections. So they've had their opportunity to comment. They've been notified in accordance with the legislation. So we're content that we've followed due process in this regard. I think that the residents have clearly made their comments on their concerns raised, and they're all valid. You know, they're material issues that you've got to take into account. So the lighting, impact on the public right of way, the drainage issues, that's all in the report for you to consider. In regard to the question of whether or not they need to, show a demand for the proposal, as I said before, the two policies we're dealing with here are PSC 5 and PSC 12. Now, having read through those, there's nothing in those policies that says they need to show a demand for it. This is a business decision. On the behalf of the applicants. What there is a need for them to show that there's a benefit to the rural economy. Now, clearly, if you're introducing additional tourism into the rural economy, into the area, there is going to be some benefit to the economy. It's probably not a huge amount to accept, and that's part of the balance that we have to take into account. But as far as showing a demand for the need for this proposal, there isn't an actual policy requirement in the LDP for that on the relevant policies. Thank you.
okay, Councillor Tomlin on Zoom, please.
Diolch, bore da pawb. I'm just interested in officers could better define to us all, please, what is meant by short term insofar as holiday accommodation goes. What is their understanding of that definition, and does that need to be better described in condition? Thank you.
When you come in on that, can you just confirm how it would be managed, the use of the facilities if it went through? Talking about.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, we're just having a quick chat there on the definition of short term. There isn't, in this regard, there isn't actually a clear definition of what short term is. The fundamental principle is it's not a permanent residence or a unit of primary residence. So effectively, they can't stay there permanently. That's what we're trying to say. Now, if you look at the conditions, we've included conditions that relate to the owners of the site having to keep a log of the people that are staying there, and they keep an address of that person's primary residence. So that's our way of monitoring whether or not people are living there without consent. So the short term is effectively it's for holiday purposes only. Trying to put a definitive time on that is always difficult. I mean, what's to stop someone from taking a 6-week holiday? Plenty of teachers have 6 weeks, plenty of teachers do that. So to put a specific time on that, only that amount of time, could be seen as unreasonable. The main point is they can't be living there as their primary residence. Thank you.
And the management of the time used, I'm guessing they'd be required to manage and record that.
That's correct. It's within the conditions, yes.
Okay, Jochen, thank you. Councillor Mullen-James, please.
Thank you, Chair. There seems to be some concern amongst residents that this might create rather a lot of noise, and that the screening would take years to establish. Are we in a position to say that we would like mature trees to be put in there, so maybe reducing the noise a little more for the residents?
Okay.
Yeah, condition number 7, basically that affords us the opportunity to determine what type of trees, what age of trees. So criteria B of condition basically says confirmation of species, sizes, numbers and location of proposed new trees. So we have got the control over that, so we can try and ensure that the landscape when it's put in is as established as possible for the benefit of screening the site. That wouldn't necessarily in itself, obviously visually that would help. From a noise point of view, there's a later condition which requires a site management plan. That's condition number 9 in your report. And that basically requires them to detail how they're going to run the site and what the rules of the visitors are to adhere to. So we've got there are 2 approaches we can deal with on that one. So there is still more information to come back to us before they can start the work. And one of those is the site management plan. And obviously all these conditions can be consulted with the residents as well at this point. So when we're dealing with those specific issues, we can go to the residents who have concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Roberts, please, Jockenbouw.
Thank you very much. I will ask my question in Welsh. This is an ANB, and we're in an area, a dark skies area as well. I'm surprised rather that you're allowing this because we do need to have a location where people are able to see the stars up in the sky, and I'm surprised that the AONB would have more lights. How do you explain that you're willing for more lighting to come to an area such as this?
Okay, officers.
Yeah, regarding the dark skies and the AONB, I'd just direct members' attention to condition number 10. So although they have put in some lighting, we don't consider that to be sufficiently well detailed at this point. Obviously, there's a way to light these sort of sites without impacting on the dark sky, and that's what the purpose of condition number 10 is, to secure the details of the lighting, so we can make sure that the lighting is downlit and it's on the ground only, and that we've got sufficient screening, so we're not effectively undermining the ambition of the dark sky status. So I think we're comfortable with that on condition number 10. Thank you.
Okay, can I just check online? Is that Councillor Evans? You haven't got your camera on, you've got your hand up, and your name's not showing up. Can I just? Yeah. Okay, I'll bring you in, Councillor Evans, Jockenbouw.
Morning, sorry, late attending. I was on the meeting mental health. My concern is there, and I'm sure residents are, and you've put over officers that the names of the people staying will be recorded. Whose responsibility is to check that? Who does it go down to? Is it DCC, or is it up to residents when it's a massive problem? Then do we go down the whole planning? Who is to check all these who's staying in there?
Okay, I'll just come to confirm that, Jockenbouw. Thank you, officers.
Diolch, Chair, members of the public as well. Yeah, just in answer to your question, Councillor Evans, we do, first and foremost, Welsh Government, in terms of its national planning policies, does encourage all year round tourism. Often there's been concerns by members and others that all year round tourism could potentially lead to people selling their properties in particular locations and moving into the area permanently. So we have had a lot of projects within the county looking at potential permanent residential occupation of tourist accommodation. So what we do now as standard in terms of imposing conditions for that is that we put the onus on the applicants and the operators of these holiday locations to keep a log, and that requires them to also confirm council tax records for people that might be staying at the holiday park. So obviously, if it looks like there's somebody living there permanently, we can go in and check and we can enforce that. So it is a sort of standard process that we've got across the whole of the county now in relation to dealing with holiday parks. Obviously, licensing can come in as well and deal with some of those issues about permanent residential occupation. So it's a planning enforcement issue. You've got a condition there within your list of conditions that deals with that, and that would hopefully give us the security that we need to manage it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Councillor Evans, can I just confirm, if you've just joined, you shouldn't vote on this item if you've not heard the whole debate. So was you in for all of the debate, or did you come in during the debate?
All of it.
You've heard all of it. Okay.
Yeah. and I've read the paperwork.
That's okay. Councillor Hilders Roberts, please. Jock and Vale, thank you.
Diolch, David. Thank you, Chair. When I read the report, I think I was sitting in a dark room looking at it, thinking, well, all these conditions on the grant, you're like, wow. And I think having reflected on it, what it demonstrates to me is that a lot of due diligence has been done around the application, which gives me a great deal of confidence in the planners have actually given a great deal of thought to where it is, what it's offering, and what it's doing. I want to just take the speaker said that there's no demand in the area. I'd like to counter that, to be honest with you, because our own business survey of Denbighshire, which, if you remember the granting of the lodges up near Telpin Farm, we had the two lodges there, which actually was a demand in the survey for out of town accommodation. Now, I thought I'd do a bit of due diligence myself, so I thought I'd go on Airbnb and see what my chances this weekend in LLANFERRES are to take 2 children and 2 adults. Well, there's one chance, and that's a mobile home in LLANFERRES, 6 minutes drive from LLANFERRES Park. The nearest then small accommodation is actually in Avon Wen or Llanuchan in Ruthin. So there is a huge demand within the area. This is an area that attracts 250,000 people a year from over the border, majority as well. So there is a massive tourist thing. I think that we need to be encouraging this. I have confidence that you can manage noise. And the myth that it's how many times in this committee have we heard the hot tubs automatically mean noise? Not everybody goes in a hot tub and gets tontoed and shouts and bawls. Actually, it's a mean of relaxation. I'm sure Arwell would go and relax in a hot tub and with his lovely wife. So I think we've got to be realistic. People who will be coming to this type of accommodation are civilized people. We're not in a haven holiday. We're actually, in the groupings, I imagine, is going to be sort of BC1, executives. So I have confidence that the management plan, and I think the applicants already demonstrated their due diligence with their previous donkey application and how they've adhered to all the conditions. They brought it back, did it right. They didn't break any conditions. So that gives me a lot of confidence in this. And I personally will be supporting this application.
Okay, can we have no bickering, please, during the debate, please? Oh, okay, yep. We've got a proposal. Any seconder for that, please?
Yes, if that's the proposal, I'm quite happy to support that.
Okay.
Second,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring in the local members, or did you want to come in yet? Thank you.
Just a quick word, Chair. Thank you very much. I read the green infrastructure statement and also the fact that these quite a number of large number of trees being planted and 260 metres of native species hedgerows. Have we considered how this development fits in with the Planning Policy Wales edition 11, Chapter 6 revision about net biodiversity in planning applications? Thank you.
Okay, Chapter 6. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Yeah, in the late rep sheet, there's a statement there on the green infrastructure statement. And we've also got an officer note there on ecological conservation and biodiversity enhancement schemes. Fundamentally, we believe it concurs with the requirements of Planning Policy Wales 11. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to bring in the local member, Councillor Hugh Williams. Jock about you.
Support this application. It's a great location. It's come on so well in the last 2 or 3 years. At the site, for those of you who don't know it, coming from Tafarny, there's a caravan park with probably 20-25 caravans, where it's just as close to the houses as where the new pods are going. I'm not aware of any noise pollution from that site, and if there is a noise pollution, there's ways and means of dealing it within the council. Everybody's got a right, and if there's a problem, please contact the council, and they will deal with it in a perfect way. I'd just like to correct you, Hilders Roberts. There's now 300,000 visitors to Morfa Mai, and yeah, I know of 2 applications where people have put pods in my ward, and they're out, they can't cope with the demand, and they're coming back with more pods. So it's great that people are spending in our community and supporting rural businesses. I would like to support it. Thank you.
Okay, Giacomo, thank you. I'm just going to bring in officers. There's no more questions before I go to the vote, which will be a roll call as normal. Just confirm the vote, so we're all clear. Giacomo.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Yes, as ever, the officer recommendation here is to grant. So when you hear the roll call and your name called, you will be going for 4 in accordance with the officer recommendation to grant the application, or refuse if you don't want to support it, or you can obviously also abstain. So when you hear the roll call, it's 4, refuse or abstain. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Giacomo. Councillor Chard, please.
4.
Councillor Edwards, please.
4.
Councillor Ellis, please.
Obliged.
4.
Councillor Elson, please.
4.
Councillor Evans, please.
Obliged.
4.
Councillor Justine Evans, please.
4.
Councillor Harlan, please.
4.
Councillor Roberts, please.
Obliged.
Okay. Councillor James, please.
Obliged.
Councillor Jones, please.
Obliged.
Councillor
4.
Matthews, please.
4.
Councillor Mendes, please.
4.
Councillor Mullin James, please.
4.
Other Councillor Roberts, please. Elders Roberts, please.
Obliged.
4.
Jumped in. Okay. Councillor Sandilands, please.
Obliged.
4.
Councillor Tomlin, please.
4.
And Councillor Williams, please.
4.
And Councillor Williams, please.
Obliged.
And
4.
Yourself, Councillor Young, and 4. Okay, that application's been approved, and that's 19-4 with no abstentions or against. Giacomo, thank you. I just let people just clear if they wish to before going on to the next item. Giacomo, thank you. Okay, we all ready? Item number 6, page 57, code 2320230468 PF. The location is BRYN, GOLAU, SARON in DENBIGH. The proposal is demolition of existing poultry farm and erection of poultry unit for turkey breeding, comprising of 2 linked poultry units with associated feed bins, tractor shed, hard standing access road, and new access and associated works. The local member is Councillor Elvin Williams. The officer recommendation is to grant. We have a public speaker for Sam Harrison, please. The agent, if you can come up, please. Okay, Giacomo, when you start speaking, you get 3 minutes. Giacomo, thank you. Over to you.
Good morning, Chair, members, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. This application seeks full planning consent for the demolition and rebuild of the poultry farm at GOLAU. The existing farm extends to 7 poultry houses and operates with an environmental permit which is issued and controlled by Natural Resources Wales for the rearing of broiler chickens. The site has a current capacity of 87,200 birds with around 7.5 flocks each year. It is proposed to demolish the existing farm and replace it with a new modern turkey breeder unit, which would be designed with best available techniques, unlike the existing units currently in situ. Following the development, the farm will operate as a turkey laying unit, producing fertile eggs for hatching. The capacity of a new farm will be 6,000 birds, made up of 5,500 hens and 500 stag turkeys. The new development will create 5 full-time jobs on the site. The development is a far less intensive use than that of the existing broiler units. For example, the turkey laying cycle is based on a 36-week cycle, with birds being housed for approximately 28 weeks, the site then being empty for cleaning and the preparation for around 8 weeks. This amounts to 1.6 flocks per annum, as opposed to the existing 7.5 flocks. The impact of development has been assessed in various technical reports covering odour, noise, ammonia, ecology, transport and waste management. As a far less intensive use, the proposed development results in a number of improvements, including but not limited to a reduction in odour and ammonia, reduced nighttime catching operations and less day-to-day traffic. The development has been fully appraised from a technical standpoint by Natural Resources Wales, Highways, Ecology and Environmental Health, all of whom have raised no objections subject to conditions. Put simply, the proposed is better than that of the existing. The application has an officer recommendation of approval, and it is respectfully requested that planning permission is granted. Thank you.
Okay, Giacomo, thank you. I'll just let you take your seat and then I will go first to the local member and then to the rest of the members. Giacomo.
Thank you very much. I don't object on the whole to this application, but I do have things that cause me concern. And one of those concerns is the conditions about the hours of when transport is able to go in and out of the site. At the moment, the condition says that transport can arrive or leave the site between the hours of 7 in the morning and 7 in the evening during the week, and between 7 and 5 on Saturday and on Sunday, 10 until 4, and bank holidays. I think it's unreasonable to be so late at night during the week. And I would ask that these conditions are changed from 7 to 5 o'clock during the week. It's up to the person who runs the site to let companies know and to manage the site, and allowing lorries to arrive, say, at 6 o'clock of an evening to unload food. That this process can be a very noisy process, and you know, it can disrupt local people of an evening, where at a time when people have, you know, arrived home from work possibly and just want to enjoy and relax. There is, I believe, also about for 6 weeks of the year, the lorries are able to arrive at any point in the day for 24 hours. Now, I think the reason for this is that turkeys or chickens will be needed to be treated in the middle of the night. So they'll need to clear the site every now and again during the night. I know that much from experience from the agricultural students that I have. Treating turkeys of an evening during the night is easier, but I think it's unreasonable for lorries to be able to arrive any time in the day or night. So I would ask to combine during that period between 7 and midnight. The biggest concern that local people have, and also the community council in Caerdydd, is access to the site. It's an access that's close, very close to the to crossroads, and lorries. It's not far off the crossroads where the access is, where lorries will have to turn into the site. And I would ask, in fact, that to relook at the access, and that access is moved to a place that's further away from the crossroads. Also, the access is very close to the local houses that there are there, and the noise from lorries trying to turn into the access can, disrupt the peace and quiet for them. So I would ask that to relook and revisit access, and to move that further away from the crossroads. Thank you.
We just checked that, and the officer's just going to come back, and I just wanted to check the requests. So, talking about officers.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, we were just obviously debating what is sort of a material change to the application that has been submitted to us. As members know, what we can't do in terms of imposing planning conditions is fundamentally alter the proposal that's before us. So you have to sometimes decide and determine whether the proposal before you is acceptable or it isn't. I think the first point that was made by Councillor Williams there in relation to the hours of operation within the planning condition that's been proposed, the member could quite readily propose a different wording of the condition for that. So if the member wanted to propose to grant, subject to, in this instance, condition 10 being amended to the hours of operation that he feels, then obviously members have got two options there. They can go with the proposition that's been made to change the condition, or they can go with the condition that officers have suggested. I think the issue around the actual proposal for the vehicular access point, that is a sort of fundamental part of the planning application. That's what's shown on the plan. So what we can't do is we couldn't change the position of that access as shown. Members will have to decide based on the information that they've got, based on the current operation of the site, and based on what our highway engineers have said as to whether the access as shown is acceptable, or if members feel that the access as shown is unacceptable in that particular location, then they'd have to refuse the whole application. The third option for members, of course, is that they could propose to defer the application to allow officers to discuss with the applicants amendments to the proposal in terms of the location of the access and the hours of operation. So I think you've got those sort of options before you as members. We'll need to work out what the proposition is from members
If you
first and
think
go
I'm
from there.
deferred, although I won't go to debate, so I'll ask for that one first, because we don't want to debate and then end up with a deferral, do we? So you've heard the options. If it's deferral, that should come first, or if you want to go ahead with the application, you've heard the options. Talking about.
Swn i'n gofyn bod yr cais yma...
I would ask that this application is deferred until Highways relooks at the access entrance, and then brings it back to explain why it's not possible for the entrance to be at another location, or if it's possible for it to be in a site that's further away from the crossroad. And then if that happens, then I would probably possibly have a conversation with the department about the conditions of our hours.
Okay, so I've got a proposal to defer. So any seconder for that, please? Okay. Okay. Councillor Jones. Okay, so we vote on the deferral.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
4 for deferral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Against, carry on, yeah.
Okay. Is it linked to the deferral? Because we shouldn't really go into debate. Yeah, go on, ask your question.
The question, and you tell me to sit down and do whatever I need to do. It's giving you an open opportunity. I just wondered how different this access is compared with the original access. I've just been looking on here now, but I can't just see how much different.
I don't think I think we're into debate. So if it's deferral, all that can be
No, I'm asking a
sorted.
question. Like if you say it's so many meters further up the road or so many meters difference.
So all you're checking is the difference
Yeah, just
between.
the differences where it stands.
Okay, all right. I get
Prior
that.
to this application.
Okay, that's
all.
fine.
Is that is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah, just for clarity, if you look at the plans at the start of the report, there's an aerial photograph where you can see the proposed new buildings in a sort of olive green and etc. Well, if you look halfway down there, as you can see the existing access that's shown there, it would run straight into the side of one of the buildings on the right-hand side. The proposed new access is further north, and you can see where that comes in across the field and then down the left-hand side of the sheds to the sort of loading area to the south of the site. So that's just to give you all a feel for the area. And on that aerial photograph, you can see that location of the access, the new access, in relationship to the dwellings at the top. That's factually. Thank you.
Yeah, that's no problem. Okay.
Just a similar question on the operating hours currently. Are they going to be different? Again, just the reason for deferral is if they're already operating on those hours.
So again, just for clarity, factually, there are no controls on hours of delivery or operating on the existing permission. The existing permission dates back to, I think, the late 70s with a few additional ones in the 90s, but we've checked and there does not appear to be any controls on delivery or hours of operation on the existing setup. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we've had a proposal to defer and a seconder. I'm going to do the roll call. So that's simply, are you for or against the deferral? And I'll start the roll call. Councillor Chard, please.
For.
Councillor Edwards, please.
For.
Councillor Ellis, please.
Amato.
Abstain.
Councillor Elson, please.
Against.
Councillor Chris Evans, please.
For.
Councillor Justine Evans, please.
For.
Councillor John Harland, please.
Applied.
Councillor Hildred
For.
Roberts, please.
Obliged.
For.
Councillor James, please.
Against the deferral.
Councillor Jones, please.
Obliged.
For.
Councillor Matthews, please.
For.
Councillor Mendes, please.
Against the deferral.
Councillor Mullin James, please.
For.
Councillor Alva Roberts, please. Obliged.
For.
Councillor Sandilands, please.
Obliged.
Councillor
For.
Tomlin, please.
Against.
Councillor Williams, please.
For.
And Councillor Elvid Williams, please.
For.
Myself, Councillor Young, and for. Okay, so that's application is deferred. That's 14 for, 4 against, and 1 abstention. Okay, well, thank you. I'll just let the room clear, and then I'll go on to the next item. Okay, members, right, I will move on to the final item. Okay, so item number 7, page 89, code 4320230549 PF, and the location is 9 CADNANT Avenue, Prestatyn, and the proposal is for provision of dormer windows to front and rear elevations and associated works. Local members are Councillor Heaton and Councillor Tomlin. Officer recommendation is to grant, and there's no speakers for this item, so I will go to the local member first before bringing in committee members. Councillor Tomlin, please. Jock about.
Diolch. Thank you. As you can see, which is well detailed by the photographs in the report, the property concerned overlooks nothing at its front, which is where the windows are that can be seen out of. So I think that's the significant aspect of this application. To the rear, there are some windows on this rectangle, looking over this rectangle of land that this property is at the end of. But to be fair to the applicants, residents' concerns have been taken into account, and it has been referred back to them to redesign those windows at the rear to include obscured glass. And those windows are only to a bathroom and a staircase, small hallway anyway, so they're not habitable rooms, i.e. where you would stand and have a gaze maybe over someone's back garden. From the pictures that show all of us, I know the property, but show all of us well how little impact I feel this change to that property will have on that area, or impact upon any neighbours being overlooked. I think is pretty much mitigated by the change, and I see no reason materially for this application not to go ahead, and I propose it is granted. Thank you.
Okay, Jock about, thanks for that. Do we have a seconder, please?
Right, second it.
Okay, Councillor James Jock about, thank you. Okay, would anyone like to say any further on this, or can I go straight to the roll call? I think we're going straight to the roll call. Okay, we're all happy. Okay. So the vote is to go along with officer recommendation to grant, and Councillor Chard, please.
Grant.
Councillor Edwards, please.
Grant.
Councillor Ellis, please.
Obliged.
Well, Councillor Elton, please.
Grant.
Councillor Chris Evans, please.
Grant.
Thank you. Councillor Justine Evans, please.
Grant.
Thank you. John Harlan, Councillor Harlan, please.
For.
Councillor Hilders Roberts, please.
Obliged.
For.
Councillor James, please.
Obliged.
For.
Councillor Jones, please.
For.
Councillor Matthews, please.
For.
For.
Councillor Mendes, please.
Grant.
Councillor Mullen James, please.
Grant.
Councillor Arwell Roberts, please. Obliged.
For.
Councillor Sandilands, please.
Obliged.
For.
Councillor Tomlin, please.
For.
Councillor Cheryl Williams, please.
For.
And Councillor Elvid Williams, please.
Obliged.
For.
And myself, Councillor Young, for. Okay, so that's been approved along with officer recommendation, and that's 19 for, none against, and no abstentions. Jocking about, and I believe that's the end of the meeting. So thank you all. I'll close the meeting. Jocking about. Thank you very much.